Hi, welcome back to MBTV. In this video, we're going to take a look at who pays for a dinner, or lunch, or breakfast. So there's always this idea going around like, oh, who pays for the dinner? Do I do half? Do I let him pay? Do I split it with her? Honestly, it really depends on the situation. If you're on a first date and you feel like it's not going somewhere, then why should you pay for the whole meal if you know it's not going to go anywhere? I would pay for half if it was me, to be honest. And I have done this in the past, and it instigates a kind of action that, hey, I kind of tell that this isn't going anywhere, so why bother? There's this idea that you should pay if you're a guy, and I totally actually agree with this, but in the right context. In the right context, if the date's going well, and you believe that, hey, this is going somewhere and I want to see this person again, then yeah, by all means, go and offer to pay for the meal. If you can, if you're financially there for it, then do it. Why not? And if she rejects that and she says, oh, no, no, I want to pay half, well, be assertive and be like, hey, no, this was a date, I'm taking up your time and I want to treat you because, it was really great to get to know you and I see this going somewhere. So there's that kind of idea that you're asserting your masculine energy into this. You're pursuing and you want to show that you valued her time by paying for the meal, and it's just taking control. Now, if this is somebody that you're with, now if you're a guy and you were with somebody who was, if you were with a woman who has a feminine energy, this is how kind of the dynamic should work. Now, that doesn't say that, let's just say further down the road, if you're in a relationship, do you want to pay half and half? Sure, if you want. I don't see why you wouldn't want to do that. At that point, it's more of like mutual kind of agreeing. But yeah, like technically, that's where I stand on that idea. If you were to say, if you're a woman watching this and you're saying, well, I want him to pay, you have to remember that going into the idea that men are supposed to do this and X and Y and Z, you're already going to mess up this dynamic when you're with a guy, because instinctually a guy wants to naturally do things for you if you're a girl. And if you let them do that, if you let them be themselves and be masculine around you, that's going to make them feel better. They're going to feel more drawn to you for doing that. And it's not about being taken care of. It's not about doing it for yourself, because you can do it for yourself. But you have to let the guy be in his masculine energy, and it actually gives you a place to really step into your own freedom in that sense, and to express it in different ways, and to not subject yourself to a more masculine energy of decisiveness, and being in a place you may not naturally feel that you're natural stepping into, but you were just accustomed to doing this over time. Now, the majority of people, especially in the United States, are millennials now. There's a majority of us who work. There's a majority of us who are very serious and are very research based, and the web, internet is our friend. And a lot of these stigmas come to play because naturally how our life works, in this day and age, everybody's working one job or two jobs, and we're very busy. We're very busy with school, and we naturally take on these roles of masculineness, of taking care of ourselves, of really taking care of things, of having to be decisive, being very independent. And as a woman, guys, or you ladies, you step into this mode, and a lot of the time it's hard to step out of it and to just kind of be within your own comfortability and realize that you don't have to do all these things, that a guy just loves doing these things for you because he wants to be in that supportive role. He wants to take care and nurture and support and protect you. And for a guy who really steps into this masculine energy, this is what it's going to look like. He's going to be very chivalrous. He's going to be very thoughtful and let you really kind of do your own exploration. He's going to give you that freedom, and he wants to take care of you. And you have to let him take care of you, or you would want him to let you take care of you, because at the end of the day, that's how he expresses his masculinity, and you need that polarity there between masculine and feminine to have that sexual tension. If he feels like he can't express that masculine essence of himself, the sexual tension is going to go right out the window. Part of that idea is that when you assume, or when you expect, the mindset, when you expect somebody to do something, it's not a very positive one. So if he musters up the courage to pay for the dinner, let him, and appreciate that he wants to explore his masculinity with you. He wants to explore that. He wants to assert that, because that's how he is. And if you let your guy do that more and more, if you let your date do that more and more, things will go well. If you're a guy watching this and you're like, I don't want to pay for her or whatever, well, ask yourself why you don't want to pay for her. Usually it's probably a logical reason. Well, I don't see it going somewhere. She's not worth it. You have to explore this with values. And if you go on a date with somebody and you don't want to pay for the whole meal, odds are you don't see a long-term future with this person. Honestly, if you go into a date and you're taking up her time, you're taking up your time, you should want it to go somewhere besides a hookup or a casual encounter or a short-term kind of experience with this girl. So on both ends, you have to ask yourself questions on why you want to pay for, why you want to pay for her and why you should let him pay for you. It goes into the dynamics, and at the end of the day, it makes both of you kind of happier in the process. And if you disagree with this process, if you disagree with the energetic roles that we should play as men and women, regardless, by the way, of men and women, you can have feminine energy and be a guy and be a masculine woman. There's a lot of women out there who would prefer to pay for the meal and prefer to kind of be assertive and take control. And that's totally fine, because that's, as long as that's their energy, that's okay. And there's people that have equalizing energies where they're kind of balanced with both masculine and feminine energy. So you always have to take that in consideration. If it's not a very majority of people, it's a minority of people. But if you feel like you have a balanced energy, then either way is acceptable. Then a lot of people feel like they can go halfway. But odds are most of the time people are not either resonating in their feminine energy or their masculine energy. So I hope this video helped distinguish this idea of who should pay for dinner. Should be the guy for the most part if he's a masculine energy. And let him and appreciate the fact that he is paying, because he's investing his time and he's pretty much investing himself when he shows these actions to you, for the future. So I hope this helped you. Please subscribe, like, and share if you found this video to be productive and useful. And as always, I'm Dan, and I'll see you next video. You're going on a couple of dates and you're wondering whether or not, when should I sleep with her? You have to ask yourself, is it long-term or short-term? Do you trust yourself? Do you trust her, energetically to kind of synchronize with each other? This is really important because when you share this experience, you want to feel vulnerable, and there's a lot of trust, and there's a lot of trust in the other person.